Bonjour, voici vidéo 12E sur le subjonctif. The subjunctive is a tense of verb that's used with expressions with que, and especially with the expression il faut que, and the other expressions that we talked about in class. Il est nécessaire que, il est obligatoire que, il est essentiel que. But for today we'll be focusing on il faut que. It is necessary that. Whenever we use this expression, il faut que, the remainder of the sentence has to be, the verb has to be in the subjunctive form. So how do we get that subjunctive form? We're going to take the il form in the present tense. We're going to drop the ent. That will leave us with a stem. And then we're going to add the endings e, es, e, ions, iez, and ent. That will be the endings for all of the regular verbs for the subjunctive. Always the il form in the present, always these endings. We did see that there are some irregulars, but we'll get to those in a minute. First, I'd like to go through the chart on page 184. We didn't pronounce these, so I'm going to take that opportunity for you now. Please take the time to listen to this and to repeat with me so that you get the feel for how these are different in sound from the present tense. And of course, as we said, some of them will sound like the present tense. The regular ER verbs will sound the same, except for in the nu and vous form. So pay careful attention to that too as we go through these. When do they sound different? When do they sound the same? So let's look at the chart, parler, and we'll just go through and pronounce each one. Il faut que je parle. Il faut que tu parles. Il faut qu'il parle. Il faut que nous parlions. Il faut que vous parliez. Il faut qu'il parle. Let's look at the verb finir, and all regular IR verbs will conjugate like this. I'll just do the que after the first one. Il faut que je finisse. Que tu finisses. Qu'il finisse. Que nous finissions. Que vous finissiez. Qu'il finisse. Vendre is a regular RE verb, and it is pronounced like this. Il faut que je vende. Il faut que tu vendes. Qu'il vende. Que nous vendions. Que vous vendiez. Qu'il vende. Mettre, and that class of verbs like remettre, permettre, and promettre are conjugated like this. Il faut que je mette. Que tu mettes. Qu'il mette. Que nous mettions. Que vous mettiez. Qu'il mette. Prendre and verbs like it, comprendre, which is the only one I can think of at the moment, are conjugated like this. Il faut que je prenne. Que tu prennes. Qu'il prenne. Que nous prenions. Notice the stem change on that one. Que vous preniez, one N instead of two. Qu'il prenne. Partir, and verbs like partir, which are dormir and sortir, conjugate like this. They are not regular IR verbs, so they do not follow the IS, ISIT endings. They're a little bit different. Il faut que je parte. Que tu partes. That's a little bit difficult to say because of the R, so it sounds a little weird. I apologize. We'll try again here. Qu'il parte. Que nous partions. Que vous partiez. Qu'il parte. And dire, the verb dire, il faut que je dise. Que tu dises. Qu'il dise. Que nous disions. Que vous disiez. Qu'il dise. Venir, and verbs like venir, which would be tenir, revenir, obtenir, se souvenir, etc. Notice the stem change in this one too. Il faut que je vienne, que tu viennes, qu'il vienne, que nous venions, quite a different change there, que vous veniez, and qu'il vienne. All right, let's flip over to the next page. We're going to do exercise I together, but we're also doing exercise on the irregular verbs. So we're only going to be doing 1 through 6 on exercise I. Just 1 through 6. And here we go. So we have the verb rester. We want it in the to form and the subjunctive. So let's do this first. Let's give the il form. We have il reste, right? That's your stem. Well, now it's your stem. And so for to, you want reste. Il faut que tu restes ici. Numéro 2, il faut que Gérard, and it's attendre son train. So he has to wait for his train. Let's do attendre in the il form. What would that be? It's going to look like that. Take off that. And we want it for Gérard. So it's going to look like this. Il faut que Gérard attende. If it was just the indicative, which is not the subjunctive, it's the regular present tense, it would be Gérard attende. But here we have subjunctive, il faut que Gérard attende. We hear the difference there. Numéro 3, il faut que vous lire ce livre. So first let's give the il form. Lire is irregular. That's our stem. And we want vous. So we get lisiez. Il faut que vous lisiez ce livre. It's necessary that you read this book. Numéro 4, il faut que je. And we have revenir, which is a venir verb. So let's give the il form. And this is je, so we don't have to worry about a stem change. We take this off. And our subjunctive is revienne. Et numéro 5, il faut que nous, and we have acheter ces chaussures. We want the il form first, so we can find out what the stem is. Achète. That's our stem. And we're going to drop that accent when we put it into the new form because of the way it gets pronounced. I lost where I was. Achetions, new form. Because of the syllable ends. Well, I don't know if that sounds confusing. Anyway, let's just say that when you use the subjunctive in the new form, the accent drops. I'm not going to go into the reasons why. Just trust me on that one. Numéro 6. Il faut que tu, and we have conduire and vite, that you drive fast. So we need the il form first. Conduise. That's our stem. And our subject is tu. So we're going to get conduise. Il faut que tu conduises. Okay, you're going to have lots more practice in your workbook doing the present tense regular verbs. So let's move on to the irregular forms. And we'll pronounce these. I'll pronounce these for you as well. Avoir is que j'ai, que tu aies, qu'il ait, que nous ayons, que vous ayez, qu'ils aient. And être, que je sois, que tu sois, qu'il soit, que nous soyons, stem change there, que vous soyez, qu'il soit. Aller, que j'aille, que tu ailles, qu'il aille, que nous allions, stem change, que vous alliez, qu'ils aillent. Faire, que je fasse, que tu fasses, qu'il fasse, que nous fassions, que vous fassiez, qu'il fasse. Pouvoir, completely irregular, que je puisse, que tu puisses, qu'il puisse, que nous puissions, que vous puissiez, qu'il puisse. And savoir, que je sache, que tu saches, qu'il sache, que nous sachions, que vous sachiez, qu'il sache. Tournez la page, on va faire exercice J. Give the appropriate form of the subjunctif for each verb. There are 12 of these. We are going to do 1 through 5, and then we are going to do number 9 as well. So we're going to hit all the irregulars here. Il faut que nous, and we have être. So we want irregulars. We can't really go with a form here. We're just going to have to memorize these straight out. Il faut que nous soyons. Numéro 2. Il faut que je, and then savoir. I know the truth. Que je sache. Numéro 3. Qu'il and pouvoir venir ce soir. It's necessary that he come, that he can come tonight, excuse me, that he can come tonight. So we need qu'il puisse venir. 4, que vous, and avoir la bonne réponse, that you have the right answer. Que vous ayez la bonne réponse. Numéro 5, we have aller, que tu, and this one's irregular, so we're going to get I. That you go to the train station. Gare is the train station. And then we're going to flip down to, or skip down to number 9. Il faut que je, and then we have faire, mes devoirs. And the irregular on that one is il faut que je fasse. Il faut que je fasse mes devoirs. It's necessary that I do my homework. All right, so those are the irregulars in a nutshell. If you have questions on these, or questions about the regular verbs as well, of course, email me or call me. I'm more than happy to answer questions. And that concludes 12E. Au revoir.